Thank you, Natalia, and the viewers, thank you for staying with us. This morning, our first guest is Arthur Patrick, lecturer at THTI. For those of you who are not familiar with that acronym, it's Tobago Hotel and Tourism Institute. Did I get it correct?
Yes, correct.
All right, welcome, Arthur. And you are here to tell us a bit about a special camp coming up for SEA students.
Yes. Well, first of all, good morning, and thank you for having me. So we decided to do a SEA brain cooler, if you want to call it that. So how this idea came about, I was actually working out, and there's this guy that works out with me. He said that his daughter is interested in food, and she's doing SEA.
Okay.
So he said, when the SEA is finished, normally they have nothing to do. So
Yes.
he was just asking me, is it possible, if I could show her some things, pertaining to the culinary arts. So I told him maybe he might be able to bring up to the institute and she can shadow me as I teach my classes. When I got to school the next day, it was still on my mind. So I decided to speak to one of my co-workers, Miss Hazel, concerning it. I threw the idea by her because she's in charge of short courses.
Okay.
So we discussed it and we decided that it may be a good idea. Maybe we should offer it as a mini camp, if you want to call it that, for students who have completed SEA and who may be interested in pursuing a career in food.
Right. Or just have that interest. It may
Yes.
not be exactly a career at this point. So you are very close to the planning of this. As you mentioned, it's your brainchild.
Yes.
And let me commend you for following up. Sometimes, people give us little ideas and we are so busy. But here you are. You took it and you ran with it with your
Yes.
colleague. And I must commend you for that. Now, you mentioned it's SEA. So the target audience is just for this year's SEA students, and if so, is it that they have to prove that they wrote the exam this year? Because I mean, this is interesting. So you may have some of us who have children who might say, I wonder if I could slip them in somehow.
Well, the school term is still going on, so I don't think that any parent would, take their child out of school
Right.
to do something like this.
Right.
But if there are any other parents that may be interested, we also offer a culinary camp in August.
All right.
For any other young person that may be interested in
Right.
food.
So that's something for us to follow up on.
Yes.
So your target audience for this brain cooler is obviously those who just wrote SEA. Tell us when it is and where it is.
Well, it will be held at the Institute, the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute in Mount St. George, Fleming. It actually starts today.
Okay.
And it will run straight until the end of May. So the camp basically is 3 days. So we're taking the students in different groups. So every week would be a different group of students. So the camp will be Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, they'll be in the kitchen with me,
Right.
making all these nice things. We'll do pasta from scratch,
Right.
decorate cupcakes, make cookies, do all these nice things. And then on Friday, they'll move into the dining room where they'll learn dining room etiquette, how to eat with knives and forks, all these things.
Yeah, definitely needed, and it's great to expose our children to those skills.
Yes.
You mentioned, so you're doing it in groups, so it's a 3-day camp, is it? And
Yes.
you're doing different groups. So for those who may be hearing for the first time about it, can they still register, and if so, how?
Yes, they can still register. They can call the institute, or they can go on our website and register for the camp.
The program starts today, and you mentioned it goes to May.
The end of May, yes.
Right, 3-day camp. So those of you who are listening, SEA Brain Cooler Culinary Camp, not just learning to cook, but learning etiquette skills as well. So you have a poster on screen, you see the dates, 3 days for the week, and each week a new group will be facilitated, so you still have time. What time of the day are we looking at?
Well, the camp starts at 9 and it goes until 1. So from 9 to 1 p.m.
Right, and for the parents who may be concerned, I don't want my child in the kitchen, you have knives, etc., all these, equipment and tools, etc. What sort of safety requisites or things put in place?
Well, that's a good question. All our lecturers are highly trained individuals, and we are accustomed teaching people knife safety, knife etiquette, and all these things.
Right.
So parents have nothing to worry about. Their children will be safe. They are in good hands.
Right. And how large are these groups? Average size?
Average size, 15 students per group.
Right. So you are going to be their main lecturer, right? You are exposing them to the different arts of cooking.
Yes.
Will there be another assistant? Because you have a group of 15 children, they are very energetic, they move quickly, and I'm sure they'll be super excited to ask so many questions.
Yes. Well, besides myself, there will be other lecturers that would pass in from time to time. Also, the advanced culinary students at the institute, they would also be in the class assisting the students as well. So parents, you've heard from Mr. Patrick, one of the lecturers, and it was so, I was chatting with him before we came on in. I'm like, oh, you got into this just after school, and he's been lecturing for 8 years. He knows his stuff. He's worked in the industry locally and internationally, and it's always great to see young people who find a passion and they can live through this passion. So I'm going to just allow you, as we wrap up this conversation, Mr. Patrick, to encourage parents who may be hearing about this for the first time and, encourage them to expose their children to something like this. Yes.
And as you do that, I want you to also tell us the cost, because I'm sure there's a cost involved, and
Yes.
I think they should also be aware of that.
The cost is only $495 for parents who may be interested or may want to send their kids. I think that they should, even if their child does not want to be a chef. I think that it is beneficial for
Definitely.
everyone to know how to cook and make something for themselves to eat. And also for the students who maybe want to become chefs, now is a good time to apply to come to the institute, because we have a lot of things going on. We have study abroad tours for our students to go to. Well, we recently came back from the Wine and Food Festival
Right.
in Florida. We went to the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, so we have study tours. Also, we have a lot of activities that we are planning to do also. So later down in the year, we have an Iron Chef competition
Right.
that we want to put on. Carnival time, we'd like to do a brunch and soca
Right.
event. Also, next year, we are also planning a food and wine festival. So the students will get a lot of experience, dealing with people and just
Right.
basically
So
working.
definitely a lot going on, and of course,
Yes.
if you would like your child to attend that SCA Brain Cooler Culinary Camp, you can find more information on THTI's website. So check it out, parents, and thank you for joining us this morning
No
and
problem.
sharing the
Thank you
information.
for having me.
All right, so we go to a break, and when we return, we have another guest joining us, so stay tuned.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the sky.
Hey there, jazz lovers. Fairways Restaurant and Lounge brings you Brunch on the Greens, a food-inclusive experience. Mark your calendars for Sunday, April 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we bring you the ultimate brunch experience. Brunch on the Greens.
1,000 kisses from you is never enough.
Don't miss out on the fun and the smooth sounds of live jazz filling the air. Featuring Tobago's very own Kay Allen, Adonna, Stephanie Joseph, and from Barbados, Narc. Brunch on the Greens promises to be unforgettable. Tickets are $300 and are available online at islandetickets.com and at special locations in Trinidad, Lisa Faye Hand-Dyed Silk Clothing, Normandy Hotel, and Cache Eastgate Mall, Trin City. In Tobago, Fairways Restaurant and Lounge, U Vogue Port Mall, Cache Lowlands, Jade Monkey Crown Point, East Bay Fashion Spring Garden. For more info, contact 760-9866. Sunday, April 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Fairways Restaurant and Lounge. We head to Brunch on the Greens.
Hey, how are you going? Uncle Errol here. Listen to me. I'm so happy to announce that on the 25th, 26th, and 27th of April, Karaoke Gael will be in Tobago. I'm looking forward to it so much as a grand prize of $10,000. So you can take part. Registration is easy. You call 371-7355. That number again, 371-7355 and register. It costs $100. Now the prelims are at Big Dog. That's on the 25th and on the 26th. And the grand final is at Village Vibes Bar in Mason Hall. Now the admission for Village Vibes Bar final is $150. However, if you have your Gael t-shirt, which costs $100, you can walk in free of charge. Call the same number to buy your t-shirt, to order a t-shirt. Oh, geez, and ages again, but we are so excited about being in Tobago for Karaoke Gael. Karaoke Gael is powered by Big Dog, La Cantina, Village Vibes Bar, Honey Restaurant, Alfred's Auto Supplies, and the good folks at the Tobago Updates.
Welcome back, viewers. I am Natalie Seeley Richardson, and you are viewing GMT this morning. With me in the studio is Mr. Larry Paul, the chairman of the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement, and also the president of the Black Rock Village Council. And we know there has been some issue in terms of the use of the multipurpose facility at Black Rock. So we will speak to that first. And let me welcome you, Mr. Paul. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Jason. It's a pleasure. And how are you this morning?
I am fine, thank you.
Good,
so I
good.
want us to get right into it because I introduced you as the president of the Black Rock Village Council, but others may say otherwise. So tell me how you arrived at being the president of the council and when your term began.
Well, good morning again, and good morning to people of Black Rock. Well, of course, I am the president of the Black Rock Village Council. And as you know, the Black Rock Village Council started way before my time. It was established in 1963.
Right.
And you have a long list of presidents from Eric Charles, Stanford Calendar,
Right.
Sylvan Cookshank, and of course, Larry Paul. And I've been serving there for a little while as the president. But more importantly, the Black Rock Village Council, as I said, has been founded over a number of years ago.
Right.
And Black Rock Village Council really have one of those strong and prominent village council. From that time, 1963, that we were registered, we formed before that, we registered in that time, to present, we have functioned continually.
Right. But when did you begin sitting as the president of the village council?
Well, I was somewhere, 2010,